Steve Giant Pumpkins, July 28, 2025. Creeping up into August, and check it out. I still got almost all my leaves. This is one of my favorite views of this patch. I mean, it just looks... The difference is night and day between what I've been growing over the last couple of years and what this looks like this year. 2144 plant, almost 100% filled in. I still got a little bit of main vine coming through there. I got a couple of secondaries, I think 3 still alive over here that are going to get ready to get terminated any day now, and all secondaries on that side terminated. You see you got a few rogue tertiaries, one there and one there. You think you got them all, and then they pop up out of nowhere and they come on fast. Field pumpkins over there, still fighting a little bit of weed cover over there. I've been working on the plants down here, trying to get weeds out of them again. Definitely doing something different next year. I don't know if it'll be ground cover, weed fabric, or if it'll be classidem or something, but I just can't keep spending all my summer pulling weeds. So let's go down here and take a closer look. Alright, here she is from the stem side. Haven't had any stem issues out of this. I'm going to come over here and scrape this off as soon as I get done making this video. And it's where I cut a leaf off. It's going a little deeper than I like. I'm going to get a spoon and scrape it off and give a little bit of alcohol, put a fan on it. Got my vine propped up with a bunch of foam board. Got it nice and raised up. I gave it a good little tug with the come along today. And main vine goes out through there. It's in pretty good shape as far as stress goes and pressure. And pulled a node today. And this one will be the next one to go. Looking at the 2144 road ball from the back, I got a fan on it. Haven't had any main vine problems out of this at all. It's looking really good. Walk up and look at it every single day. And I did have one spot right here that I scraped away. It had some bugs were hanging out down here in this little crevice. Some little gnats and some ants. So I scraped all this away with a spoon, treated with some alcohol, constant fan on it, and it's healed up really nice. Crown bulking up a little bit. I can't fit my hand all the way around it. It's my biggest one in the patch. And really no complaints out of this plant at all. Still got a little bit of unwanted vegetation going on underneath the canopy, a few spots and need to get cleaned out and taken care of. But for the most part, everything's going really well on this plant. Alright, this is Doris, the 2144 and a half rotor ball, pollinated by 2501 Bernstrom. Day 35, which was 2 days ago, she was estimating 482 pounds. A little bit behind what my rotoball fruit grew last year at this point in time. Does look like she made a nice gain over the last couple of days. Just keep watching it. Not really getting the gains I'm wanting out of this fruit. I'm only getting 26 to 28 pounds a day right now. Doing some things to try and up that. Send out a tissue sample, and didn't really tell me what I thought it was going to. And well, I didn't know what it was going to tell me, but I mean, it didn't really shed any light on why she's only gained 26 pounds a day. So that's where we're at right now. Long way to go yet. Nice. Looks like it's going to be a pretty orange. I'm excited about that. Good shape. Here, we'll take a look down here at her blossom. She had a really tiny blossom. It was 3-lober. I painted with a little bit of daconil. And she's probably going to sit down on top of it, but she got a ways to go yet before she does that. Tugged on her with the come along day, get a little bit of vine stress off of her. And got the vines up off the ground, trying to make them nice and perpendicular to the ground back there. So, yeah, long ways to go with her. But we'll see where we land. Field pumpkins, this is a bit of an embarrassment, but it is what it is. I'm trying to get caught up. Quarter-inch of rain came in one day, and following quarter-inch of rain was weeds, and that's kind of where we're at right now. 235 Razzo's got a fruit pollinate on it. I've already had one fill on it. So we'll see where that lands. 65.9 Bergen. I got fruit underneath there. It's nothing outstanding. It's pollinated by itself because it was the first one to go and didn't have any other females. It's nothing to write home about, but here, we'll take a look. He's turning orange. There it is. Fits underneath the chair, so it ain't no record breaker. But I'll throw it on a scale here in the house. This probably won't make it anywhere besides the house, and see what it weighed and call that good for the year. 160 ounce is growing all over the place, and then get these weeds out of the way and give it some good grow space. And another 160 ounce over there is not growing quite as much as the rest of them, but again, you know, don't beat me up. I know I got weeds and grass in here. This is the last place that I care for. All right, these are the priorities, and this is the last place that I do any work. So I'm kind of caught up on weeds for the most part in the rest of the patch, so I'm gonna try and get to this here in the next cool couple of days. All right, down here in the lower end of the patch, first thing I'll point out is you see there's no J. Yowie, 75 J. Yowie down here anymore, for a couple of reasons. Number one, I didn't think this plant was going to come down here, and now it's trying to make every effort to get down here, and the J. Yowie was taking up all this space. So it's either keep going the Yowie and terminate all this, or let this have some room. But the biggest issue was a vine borer got in the Yowie. I split the vine, and it was right at the crown. A borer right in the crown, and then a couple inches up from the crown. I split the vine, cleaned it up real good. I felt like I had it under control, and I was like, okay, I can save this. But ultimately I made the decision that I don't have time to be working on stuff like that. I need to be working on stuff like this. I kind of wish I'd taken that project on as a learning experience, but again, it was just hot and sweaty out here. It's just too much going on out here for me to take on stuff that doesn't matter to me as much as everything else does. So the Razo plant up there was pollinated with the 75 J. Yowie, trying to get those 268 bags genetics in that 235. Hopefully it took. Jury's still out on it, so it's not looking hopeful right now, I don't really think, so we'll see. Alright, let's look at the 2501 Bernstrom. Alright, this is the plant I did all the dumb stuff to. I broke the main vine off right about in this ballpark here. I let the fruit sit on, running to the table. I dropped a big jug of ice water on it. Or not ice water, ice. Alright, lots of main vine problems. I got 4 fans underneath the here. It's doing the same thing the Caspers, the 1707 Caspers did to me last year. You know, almost in the same area too. I wanted to get this soil disease tested after the season was over last year. I didn't do it. I'm not sure if it's soil-borne disease or if it's got bud disease in it, but something's definitely going on. Rotting out each root at each node. I only got 2 nodes out of the 10 or 12 I have here that are rooted in the ground currently. The rest of them were just solid mush. Carved them up, cleaned them out, and fans on them, treated with alcohol. So it's holding its own right now. This dry weather's really helped. I did this because I need to be able to overhead water hands-free. I'm going to be out of town for a few days, and I don't expect my wife to come out here and hold the 1-inch water hose for an hour. So I tried it out yesterday. It's not as effective as I thought it was going to be. It needs a little bit of tweaking, so I'll have to go back to the drawing board a little bit. All right, there she is. Calling this one Scrat, and the reason for that is because it reminded me of an acorn, the way it was shaped when it first started growing, and then made me think about Scrat from Ice Age, the squirrel that chases the acorns all around, and spelled S-C-R-A-T-T-E for the female squirrel that made her appearance in Ice Age 3, I think it was. So it's a little bit fitting because it did get hit in the head with the big chunk of ice, and I'm sure at some point in those 5 or 6 Ice Age movies, somebody got hit in the head with a chunk of ice. So it's kind of surprised me a little bit. I wasn't expecting much of it out of it after that. It is growing. It's doing about the same as the other fruits per day. It's doing a little bit less actually, and quite understandably, because it doesn't have the main vine root support that the rest of the plants have. It has totally sat on its blossom. The blossom is all the way up underneath there. Can't even get a hand in there or nothing to check on it. It did that early in the grow. It just right over. Under a little bit of vine stress. I'm thinking about terminating the main. It's actually secondary, the new main. And I've already pulled nodes here, 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 and here, and I'm getting ready to do another one there. And then, you see, I've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more nodes back there on this secondary vine before it hits that old main vine that's having all the trouble. Luckily, no rot trouble out of this vine yet. It is stretched way out there, and it is rooted in way out there, so I'm a little bit reluctant to cut it off right yet. I'm just going to keep monitoring the issue and see how she does. These spots showed up on it about a week and a half ago. I almost scraped them off, but I didn't, and they look okay now. They're scabbing all pretty well. I have no idea what that came from. It wasn't me. I didn't touch the fruit. Just something came in here and gave it fang marks. Alright, on day 35 for this fruit, it is estimating 408 pounds, so it's also behind last year's grows. Alright, and last but certainly not least in the main competition patch is the 2222 Ginger, pollinated by the 2144 Roto ball. This fruit is personal best: 20 day, 25 day, 30 day, 35 day. It's checking all those boxes so far. However, a little dip in pounds per day this past 5-day weigh estimate, so a little concerned about that. Before we go in there and look at the fruit, plenty of vine activity. Like I said, it slowed on the side vine growth for a good while, but starting to pick up. I've got some secondaries coming through here, and I'm just going to let them keep on coming all the way to the fence. This is the main vine here. I gave it a little turn, and I'm just going to let it keep going until it gets all the way up in here. So it's probably got another 12-15 feet that it can go. And then I got some secondaries over there. I'm going to let them go all the way to the wind fence. All right, there she is. Day 35. She estimates 618 pounds. That's my best day 35 ever. She between day 25 and 30, she did 43 pounds a day, but between days 30 and 35, she was on 28 pounds a day. So a little concerned about that. Sent some soil samples, some tissue samples out. Sent some tissue samples out of her as well, and again, didn't really tell me what I thought it was going to tell me. A bit of a weird, funky shape. It's really hard to get all this in here underneath all this. So see how it dips here? It got small shoulders, and then gets a little bit skinny, and then a big old fat rear end. And then this right here, I showed you this last time we looked at it. I can fit my hand all the way underneath of there. At least I'll be able to inspect it for cracks, right? What is this? A little moth? Get out of there. Get out of there, you. Alright, so I don't know what that's all about. I don't know why I did that. I had a little spot on the stem that I scraped. Tree with some alcohol right here. Put a fan on it. It's doing really well, so I'm okay with that right now. And I thought it was going to be like a bright orange, but it's kind of looking like it's going to maybe be a not so bright of an orange, but it's going to be orange, I think. We'll just have to keep growing and see what it does. This has all the potential to be my personal best, and at the beginning of the season, I thought it was going to be state record potential, but I don't know now. I'll just have to keep pushing the limits on it and keep growing and get as big as we can get. This one is Hot Damn. Earned that name, rightfully so. Successfully pollinated in a 5-day stretch with 96 degrees was the average high during those 5 days, and hit 99 twice. So made it through that. And I think I mentioned last video that if this is where this grow stops right now, I think I can consider that portion of this grow a huge success. 2 fans, 100% shaded with sheets, and 1 gallon jugs of ice placed strategically around it, swapped out twice a day. Thanks Doc Roto for the tips on the ice jugs. That was a huge success and stressful, and I'm glad that that portion of the grow is behind me. I got to get the water in these plants, so let's run over and look at the 150 patch real quick. Doing some watering in the 150, feeding out of a tote. Adapted down to 1-inch hose, feeding this 1-inch utility pump into the sprinkler. Does a pretty good job out here. Alright, so we're not going to go in there and take a close look today, but we'll talk about a few things. That daggone groundhog, at least I suspect it was groundhog, came out here yesterday and trampled through here and through here, and all these leaves were laying flat on the ground. You still see I still got some laying down right in here. Some of the leaves around the border are broken and laying over the border. Didn't go through there and get those cleaned up and back in the border, but it has made a nice little comeback today. Leaves are standing back up. I think I'm going to be okay. No big loss there. Trying to zoom you in here. This fruit's bigger now than when I measured it at 25 days at estimate 266 pounds. That's ahead of last year's 150 growth. It's hard to tell from this angle, but the stem is about 1 inch up off of that foam now, and the last time we looked at it, it was laying right on top of the foam. So the pumpkin's doing some work for me to help out, get that kink out of that vine, get it up off the ground, and lift it up some. Looks a lot bigger than 266 today. It's not due for a measurement again for a few days, so again already ahead of last year's 150 square foot growth, so I'm hopeful that it'll turn out quite nicely. Alright, so I just looked at my notes on my iPhone and it was 30 days, 266 pounds at 30 days. I didn't think it was 25 days. I thought I had them all pretty close to each other. It's due a 35-day measurement on Wednesday, so we'll see what it looks bigger today. We'll see what it looks like. And that is Steve's Giant Pumpkins for July 28, 2025. Long way to go yet. Setting my pace for the marathon. So we'll see you next time.